special chai blend, full of warming ginger, clove, and nutmeg, and just a sprinkle of that feeling you get when you rub a cat's soft, warm belly. All around the city, coats were being pulled out of the backs of cupboards where they'd spent the year gathering dust and moth holes. Radiators groaned to life, and people began searching for that special someone they could snuggle up with once winter really settled in. Dina was far too preoccupied to even think about the start of cuffing season. She'd been on a couple of dates in the last year, one man and one woman, and only one of them had gone vaguely well. The guy had been a walking red flag, while Maggie, the insanely hot yoga teacher Dina had gone out with a few months ago, had been lovely, kind, and smart. Dina knew that she could have had something real with Maggie if she'd given it a chance, but she hadn't wanted to hurt her, so she'd left before things could get any worse. Thankfully, the busy autumn season at the cafe was enough to take her mind off romance. Dina had sworn herself off dating for the foreseeable future. It wasn't worth the pain it would cause herself and others. Besides, business was booming, and she had to finish making another batch of her ever-popular cozy and calm candles before they sold out again. "Robin, could you take these to table 4, please?" Dina said, handing her colleague a tray bearing 2 slices of her apple and blueberry pie and 2 mugs of the Serendipity House tea blend. The couple sitting there had been regulars at the cafe for a few months now, coming here every Wednesday to study together. At least that's what Dina assumed they were doing, with their heads bent down over their respective laptops. Every now and again, the man would reach out for his partner's hand, and they would just sit like that, in perfect companionable silence. That's what I want, Dina thought. Could she have that one day? Lately, even the idea of a happily ever after felt unattainable. "Yes, boss," Robin smiled, knowing full well how much Dina hated being called boss. Robin had been at the cafe for a couple of years, working shifts in between the spin classes they taught near Blackfriars Station. They had walked in one day, only moments after Dina had placed a job advertisement for a barista in the window. Dina had taken in Robin's dark green mohawk and effortlessly cool eyeliner, watched how they straightened one of the picture frames on the wall absent-mindedly, and had known that they were the perfect person for the job. Dina didn't have much time to do anything but work today, not that she minded. Serendipity, with the buzz of its coffee machine and the warm scent of pastry, was her happy place. She'd founded this business herself, with only a little help from her magic. And every time she saw a customer return after their first visit, her heart thrummed with joy. This morning, however, Dina was acutely aware that it was only Robin and herself working in the cafe, and they were vastly outnumbered. Time-slowing spells tired her out, so she tended to save them for the lunch rush. The coffee machine was being temperamental again, and Dina had already had to give it a thump. Said thump may have contained a spark of something extra, to get it working again. She was just finishing up the latte art, a cat on a broomstick on one and a ghost on another. It was spooky season after all, when the door swung open wildly in the wind, leaves swirling in the doorway, knocking an evil-eye charm off the wall which fell to the ground with a clatter, smashing in half. Dina sucked in a breath. She recognized a bad omen when she saw one. The door slammed shut, the small bell above tinkling belatedly. A man stood in the doorway, picking a stray leaf off his sweater. The first thing Dina noticed was his nose. It looked a little crooked, like it had been broken but hadn't healed straight. And then his size. Not only was he tall, he was broad enough to take up the entire narrow entrance. That sweater, fluffy as it was, wasn't hiding the muscles rippling underneath as he bent down to pick up the broken evil eye. What was a man with a body like that doing with tweed elbow patches and wire-rimmed glasses? He looked like a professor who moonlit as a cage fighter. Dina swallowed, acutely aware of her dry mouth. Dark, curling hair, a groomed beard, It was like he'd walked straight out of her daydreams.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.